Hey there, it's Chris. Welcome back to the next part of the Kai Shulin project, where, fairness, no reason to have a camera this way, so figured give a different perspective. Yeah, getting on to here, where last time we started getting the left leg here to match the right, and our ultimate goal this time is to finish matching the left leg into the right, so that next time then we can start moving up, maybe get kind of the belt area and some of the other under layers on here. Then we'll get into the patterning stuff after that. But let's go ahead and move this back to where it usually is. I don't know, it felt like starting somewhere different, or the different camera position. But yeah, we have it going. Just got to kind of match the top part over here, and then we go on from that. So where is the clay? So to do that, we're going back to, I did not start everything out right on this, so we're already at the 4, which is good. Let's start with the 6, and now bring it back to 4. Alright, so that's what we need. Might need some more. No, that'll be plenty. That will be plenty. Alright, last time we got a whole bunch of stuff done, so this time we can kind of hope for the same. Let's see, that is approximately the size I need. We can go just a little bit wider, because this kind of gets a little wider as it goes. So I just want to kind of get this to be approximately the same size. And now it's actually kind of important we get the bottom part right on this, not the top. The top's not as important to get 100%, but we do kind of want the bottom here to start. Right there. But we have these doohickeys, so let's use this. I know it's not doohickey, I know it's a compass, but it's being used as a caliper. So that's effectively where we go up to, which is a little higher than we are right now. However, I can cut that off. Now you immediately come down, just like my camera was down. You immediately come down, which is good, because I do need this to kind of do something like that, or else it's not going to be able to wrap around in the first place. And all I want to do right now is just kind of the same thing I did in the lower leg to speed things up considerably, is just wrap it all the way around and then just cut off the parts I don't need. It's just faster that way. Okay, so I'm kind of pushing in just a little bit to get the air pockety parts or the big air pocket things out, but I'm not really attaching to the skin as I do this, because that would result in other kinds of problems. So now, like before, I'm going to give ourselves a little cut. And we can see that that's not too bad. Okay, we already have progress. I'm like 4 minutes into this. We already have progress. And I spent a minute on that on the crazy intro. Alright, let's just get the arms out of the way. We don't need those there. Okay, so I can tell we're starting up there. And what are we coming down to? We have an overlap occurring. Looks like right around here is our overlap. So that's you coming down. And then from that point, we pretty much have to come back up to here. So that's going to be the actual trick, because that's not a straight line. It's also not on camera. So let's see. So if I do that, that actually somehow averaged out what I needed it to do. This can be altered a little bit as we go, but at least it gets us the starting point, which we kind of need. Oh, come on, don't get stuck when you're in the middle. Getting stuck in the middle is the worst. That's going to be the hardest to fix. Okay, no, don't get stuck. Okay, so already we need to go down a little bit more. Oh, I'm going to the wrong thing. I'm going to the half circle point. No. I need to go to way down here. Okay, that's why nothing was making sense. I was going to this little kind of half circle. There we go. I was going to this point. We need to come down to this. Whoopsie doodle. All right. I have a point down here. Whoop. Now, just to make sure you actually cut, let's actually use the knife. Nope. Okay. Once again, don't get stuck in the middle. Alright, that now looks a lot more like what it's supposed to look like. Good. Needs a little touch-ups up top here. We got a little funky, but otherwise, good. How'd the back turn out? Back is fine enough. Again, trying to get anything inside here smooth is always the problem. When you get inside little kind of skinny spaces. Yeah, it's usually kind of right at the upper thighs inside is problems, and when we get to kind of the arms, or if the arms are kind of fixed to the body, as they have been for every other model I've done, kind of right inside here is usually tricks. They're hard trying to get super smooth. It just, some areas just don't like to work. Okay, now we also have the bottom here we need to match up. Again, it's okay that you can't really see much because it helps to have a shadow line, which we're going to be adding when we do the next part. This starts from about there, and it's right at the skinny point. That comes right down to the bottom, like that. Okay, where is... that's over here. Where are we going to on this side? We're going to there. So all I'm kind of doing is just kind of eyeballing this line and hoping that I'm able to do things straight. And once again, I'm not worried about holding anything up top because once the pants here and stuff are done, I will be cutting back a lot of this upper body stuff. So if I'm squishing things in here, whatnot, yes, I made it to look nice and neat and good right now. That will be cut back for the hardening before I re-put it back in the next part of the sculpt. And again, if you want to know the reason why I'm doing that, I would go back to the pre-planning session I did, or if you go to my playlist, go to the very first episode in the playlist, and that will be explained in there why I'm doing it. But effectively, if I keep the body the same size it is right now and kind of make this the real life-size body, when you add clothes to it, let's say this is 1/7 the size of a normal person. Figure if a person is 6 feet tall, these are about 10 inches tall. So 6 feet is going to be just under 70 inches, so it's a 1/7 scale. I can make the figure get shrunk that much, but the fabric of clothing is not 7 times thinner than actual fabric of clothing. In order to keep this structural, this is probably pretty close to the actual thickness of clothing. So if you put this onto a 7th scale figure, you have the clothing on, you have like the chest plate, you have that, like the chest plate, you have the straps. It's going to keep adding it out from here and make it thicker and thicker and thicker. So the only way to make this in scale is to, when I get to this, to actually detailing this out, make you skinnier, and then I'll come back, and that's not the right one. I wanted to turn you off. I have too many layers on this thing right now. That's also not the right one. Hey, we found it. I have too many layers. I have no video editing stuff going on these. Whatever you see is what you get. But this is effectively a gigantic slideshow I have on the side of this thing. I just have to keep finding the right piece to stick on there. Okay, we are set to 4, which is good for now, because again, I'm going to start with 4. Now we can swap to 2. And then that's what we're going to be going off of for these lines. We are going relatively quickly, which is good, which is kind of like last time, which is kind of what we like to see. There we go. I need less than this on here. This is just too much clay to start with. I don't need anything bigger than what this piece is. So let's just get rid of some of the excess. Don't need it. Do not need. Nope. Okay, so we got you off, and we actually don't need to replace it. We know it's where it wants to be. Because I'm going the width of that. And if I can not have little width pieces in there, that would be super cool. Okay, so there's one. I already flubbed this thing, so we're just gonna take that piece off and do it again. Now I believe on the lower leg I used 2 of these pieces. I just need to cut, if I cut 3 of them, I ought to be safe. Just in case one comes out wrong, or if something gets inserted or attached incorrectly or whatnot. It's nice having a spare. I'm usually one of those guys who likes having a backup plan just in case something doesn't work well. Which, I'll be honest, when playing the game, again, if you've watched the Valkyria Chronicles one, there have been a couple of missions where I've set up some backup plans where, at least there's one mission of note that I can think of that cost me the A rank on a mission, and I could have done better if I hadn't done that. But it is nice having a backup plan in case something goes wrong, because, yeah, having to deal with those kind of problems when things go wrong usually doesn't go so well. And that seems to be a lot of the last couple chapters, although it has worked out in the end somehow. Okay, once again, we have put the cart before the horse slightly. I am quasi looking forward to the next chapter coming up in the game. Because I'd said from the start, I have forgotten a lot about the game, but there were 3 missions that I actually do kind of remember. 2 of them I thought were just awful, awful missions. And one of them I was like the Navy SEALs going through, and it was one of the most amazing things ever. And I believe the next one coming up is one of those awful ones that's stuck in my head. Except the problem is, I remember it being super difficult, and if you kind of start with the wrong personnel, everything goes awry really quick. At the same time, I 100% forgot how to actually make it through the mission unscathed. So I think the next recording session is going to be entertaining, if nothing else. So we can look forward to that one coming up. Which I'm not going to spoil which one it is for you. I'm not going to say how far ahead I am right now of recording. I am a little bit farther on recording the game than I am on recording this model here. But yeah, I foresee good times in the future. Only because, yeah, I know there was one that was really rough last time I played the game. But I've just literally forgotten everything about what made it rough and or how to solve it. So it should be fun. Oh, it's going to be a train wreck. But hopefully it's an entertaining train wreck when it happens. That's all I can really hope for. It's sticking to my finger. Get off my finger. Get off my finger, run onto the model. Alright, we're getting there, we're getting there, we're getting there. Okay, so we need to kind of come somewhere there-ish, which you can't see underneath, but I can, because my eyes are slightly differently placed than the camera. Not by much, but there is some difference. Okay, now, well, okay. Up, 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 up. Be good to me, be good to me. Whoop. Okay, now I just need to follow the line. Alright, I think we got it. I think we got it. Okay, good. I don't need to super blend those. I know it's going to be kind of one thing comes in, one comes down, but I don't need to super blend those because when we do the front side, it's going to cover that. So, don't need to go too much farther. Where are we? Okay, we're not even 20 minutes in. We are not too far off where we ended last time. Because really figure this was part 1 of last time's, or not last time, I guess 2 times ago. It feels like last time. I should say on the last side. We're in that part 1 segment where I did the top, and the part 2 where I did the structure part. I don't need to make those things anymore. We've already gone over it. I've already made the things, so physically attaching those should be fairly expedient and quick and good. There wasn't that much involved in it. And somehow my voice has been cracking. It feels like a lot recently. I don't know what's up with that. Okay, so that's off. Now we just need to get you down. I need to get the camera out of my way. I'm like moving my head around so I can see what I'm doing. I'm glad you can see what I'm doing, but at the same time, I kind of need some idea. Okay, this one's going to take a little bit of touch up at the end of all this, but that's going to be fine. Oop. Okay, that's gone. Ooh, this one needs all the touch up. Oh, I didn't cut the bottom. Didn't cut the bottom. No, 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 no. We need this done. We need this done. Okay, I still feel like we are too far away on these. Then again, those knee pads are pretty beefy in size, so maybe it's gonna be fine. Let's go and bring... Nope. Okay. So now I will always pick up the wrong side of that first. We do want this to match. As we do that, just need to do a little bit of cleanup back here. Okay, good, that's off. That's what we want to see. Okay. Alright, so we're a little bit wavier on here than we are on the other. Again, little wavy stuff, I'm not concerned. I will, like I keep saying over and over and over again, I'm like a broken clock here, that I will be touching up stuff like that as we get closer to hardening. So little imperfections are not a problem at this point. Okay, so now with that done, tilt that in a little bit. Let's tilt you in a little bit. Find the right angle to do this with. Yeah, and I wasn't feeling great going into last time's session, only because it felt like it's kind of the doldrums. It didn't really have enough to feel like the detailing was going on, but everything kind of slowed down. But I'm starting to feel a lot better now. We're getting something on here that's visual, and that's making me feel a lot better. At least there's something happening again. Okay, get in your slot. Okay. Next we had done it before. We're gonna do this kind of half semicircle-ish thing that kind of goes in there. That additional inner padding session on these almost nonsensical pants that she has. It goes with their story, which is also nonsensical. Her story's just weird. I'm sorry. Her backstory is... it's just problems. Don't know what else to say about that. What do I want? I want you. Okay, so how can I even see this thing? I mean, you're about that size. You can Superman view right now, that's fine. Okay, so you're about this size. Oop. Where's the first notch? Right around there. And let's see, the down angle doesn't matter so much. Let's focus on that semicircle. Just a little bit more on this side. That actually lines up pretty well. Yeah, that lines up. You can't see it because it's in there. But the point on that part is actually pretty close to the point on that part. So that's pretty much what I want. So now we just need to transfer you to the side. Get off. Okay, so what do we have? I have height is a little bit higher, so I can bring you just a little bit lower. That would help. So the height's pretty much right there. And the same as before, we're just gonna cut off the excess. I place her down, I pick her up. I place her down, I pick her up. Yeah, this upper body is now becoming a great thing to kind of hold on to for literally every single step of this. Alright, got it off. I cut it a little bit short, but that's gonna be fine. I can smooth it right into where it needs to be. Clay is very, very nice that way. Not sure you're going to be able to see this part. Or at least I should say I'm not sure you're going to be able to see it while I'm able to see it. And or vice versa. Alright, I want to rescore this back edge just so it doesn't look like it's blended into the element. I need it to read as its own kind of separate element. So we just kind of score the back edge. And there we go. I scored it. My knife wasn't resting against the edge of what I needed it to be. Can we do that with less fail? Okay, I think that was less fail. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, so now that's in there. So we have... There is little bits of cleaning up, like stuff kind of like up here, which is not great. But we have... But I'm not worried about the cleanup stuff. Again, usually cleanup stuff I'll do after all this is done, or after a session is over. So I'm not worried about that. So from here, kind of next thing I would like to get is maybe get the straps on the boots, because I at least have the two down here to get the boots to start reading a little more correct. But otherwise, yeah, we're getting pretty close now. Oh, I can still keep this at that level. That's pretty good. I just pulled the handle right off of this guy. Not as good. All right. I was trying to think. I feel like the last, probably it's been at least, if I count this one, at least the last three. Every model I've done, I should say at least every model I've done this year. The second leg has taken pretty much exactly the 2 hours. Like foot kind of area has taken the 2 hours to do, and just catching this leg up to this side is once again it's going to take these 2 hours, the last session and this session, before we can finally move on and get on to kind of new elements. Like I said, from here, I want next time to kind of be this waist area. At least that'll make it feel like pants in the end, and not just leggings, but that'll at least make her a little more decent. Alright, so same as before, and if we're going to have a seam, we want the seam to be on the outside, because that's going to be hidden in the end. That's it. I might as well at least give myself, let's get some of the clay off the ground, give myself a straight edge to go off of there. Look, I'm a little wide. I want skinnier than these guys. Alright, so I want something skinnier than this to match the other side. Back to the drawing board here. Alright. That was fun. Take two. Okay, so we need that line to be kind of straight. Alright, how do you do on this one? That kind of matches a little better. Take the little pointed end off. Alright, we kind of the right height. Not too bad on height. I think the inside can go up just a hair. We don't need that to twirly do around. In fact, it would be better if it didn't. And there should be enough on here to do the second one as well. Did this thing twist in the process? No, it didn't. Okay, good. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. I was wondering why it looked even skinnier than it was supposed to be. Come on. Work with me. Work with me. Don't work against me. As you can see, as I kind of push it in a little bit, that's making it just a little bit flatter, and it's making the lines just a little bit wider, which is okay. I think I'm just a hair, I think I'm starting just a hair skinnier actually than the other one. So if I push it in just a little bit, it will make it just a little bit fatter. And there we go. We got that. And I guess if I actually kind of want to match where I am on the other guy, I could do my little snake thing here. And kind of come up, because if I click on you, you can see the little whoop, whoop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Again, I can play with these things a little bit later too, so not overly concerned. But again, at least we start to give the detailing out on that. And there are really two more elements I want to get done in this session, and we have plenty of time to do it in. So let's see. First thing I want to do is I want to get let's actually delineate this from the padding on the side, which won't be a problem once we get to the patterning part. This will 100% read different, but I may only get one line in this thing because it is a little skinnier than the other side. Which is probably fine. Okay. So next we can do, or actually is going to be easier with you kind of in place. It's kind of standing here. I don't need to do the treads underneath the feet because I already see I'm squishing the ones on that side. So all it has a chance of doing is squishing things here, which wouldn't be fantastic. So okay, double checking. We do start right at the top of this. So we're going to make ourselves a little opening. We're going to fail at shoving it inside said opening because we're good. And I do still have the rest of the wire I was using before. And I remembered to keep this up in my kind of workspace, which is also slightly unexpected. It's almost like I planned it that way. And we just got to make ourselves our little staple again. Actually, we're going to make ourselves two staples, and that's about as far as this piece goes. Let's put that down there. So make sure we're at least all kind of sitting on the same plane, so that is good. And we just push that in. All right, and that's in. Now we just need a thin little piece of clay to go on top. Which is going to be easier said than done. But we got it. At least now here, if you're actually looking at the image, I am actually doing this now on the correct side for that image. It's just, yeah, I have so many images of the belt on the one side and not the box on the other that when I was showcasing this before, yes, I did have kind of the incorrect side showing. But these pants, as ridiculous as they are symmetrical. So it was really a difference without a real distinction going on. It was just, yeah. And now I need to not lose you and do the same thing with this one. Get staple number 2. I realize I'm slightly cart ahead of horse right now. I haven't put the other piece in. But I see this sitting right here, so I might as well just use it. Oh, no. No. Do not drop. Okay, where was this one? This one is at the top of this. So you are right there. Let's flop you down a little bit right now just so I can get this thing in. Alright, once again, we gotta thread the needle here. Hey, we did it right away. Good. Okay, so we're now pretty well decked out on the 2 sides. Again, I haven't detailed the bottom of this shoe, but we're pretty well matching on sides. So let me go take a look at a couple things real quick. Yes, there are 1 or 2 things I can do still, such as if we go to her back, you can see along the knee there's another black portion that comes from here kind of halfway through the knee over, at least on the back, and it's kind of the same on the front. So I can put that on. Let me get my own view here just to see. It goes about halfway down the back. I'm going to save the upper part here for next time. So if I can just do one or two little things on this, I'm fine with that right now. So that's one I can do. That's going to be the same as this piece here. I'm going to set that to a 4, which we're already... I think we were on a 5 before. We don't need a super skinny piece for this. Okay. Let us get ourselves a little straight section. Or if I'm talking to myself, let me get myself a little straight section. I realized I was halfway talking to myself, halfway talking out loud, so let's maybe not do that. And again, it's kind of covered on the front. I know I have the wrong image on here. I know it's kind of covered by the knee guard, but we're going to have this go just a little bit up front as well. Because I can kind of see behind it that there's something going on. You know what? I don't need this entire thing on here just to do this, so let's just start with a smaller piece I can manipulate just a little easier. That comes down, this comes across, that comes in, and we see how we didn't do too bad. Considering we're kind of doing it by feel, it's not too bad. Now, details like this may not be visible really right now for anything, for what all this is worth, but when we get to the painting phase, stuff like this should pop a little bit more. Maybe not specifically this one, because this one is kind of, like I said, it's behind that knee guard. That's a pretty hefty sized knee guard going on, but we're still doing it. It's still here. I'm going to know it's here. You're going to know it's here. That's what's going to matter. Okay. So now just kind of re-give those lines back. Re-give that back. And we have part 1 of that in. Alright, well, while I'm on this subject here, let's do its accompanying side. I had another flat piece kind of ready. I think I had it in my hand and subconsciously just rolled it up into a ball. Okay. That happens. Alright, no taking small piece and rolling into ball. That's bad. So now over here we're going to go and something like halfway. And this one, just because of its location, doesn't have to be 100% correct. But I'm just kind of imagining it if you look on the wrong side here. If you look on the back side one, it goes about halfway, so I figure the front side goes somewhere in that halfway range. Okay, this one takes a little bit of fixing to do. Good, good, good. Except to a point. Should be up there, not down lower. Alright, so we have front sides now kind of roughly in there. And let's get to the back, which means let me get my own image over here, just so I have something bigger. Just not that there's much to see. It's the same general concept. We come on over, do the same thing. We go about halfway up the back. Yeah, there's going to be a seam that comes down here, and it looks like it comes, yeah, pretty much halfway. I'm going to need to shuffle the images over on the side a little bit for the next part, just so we can see what's going on with the back next time. Let's see, did that do it? I think it did. We went a little bit further than I would want it to be. Okay, let's... I think we have a little too much sexy pose going on right now. This is not my intended... the intended look of this thing. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. So I cut way too much off of this. It doesn't go all the way up the back. That's not huge problems, but it's also not right. Maybe not pull everything off when I don't need everything off. Alright. Yeah, all of a sudden I really do have to be very careful what I am and am not holding on this. Okay, there we go. Now even once this part is in, this part is not done because this part is kind of fabric. And I do believe there are fold lines and stuff that are going to be going in here just because it's by the knee. I'm just not going to have the time to do it in this session because we're almost up. All of a sudden, this hour went by pretty quick. Although at the same time, I did get all the stuff done that I wanted to get done. I mean, this is now already kind of jumping onto the next portion. So, feels good. Getting at least a little bit of a head start. And we'll see, I'm not sure if next time I'm going to shift it into 2 sections like I did last weekend. I'd have like 2 kind of short ones. Like I think last time was like a half-hour and a 20-minute one. Might do something like that depending how quick this waist stuff goes. I definitely want the pattern one to be just a real kind of a quicker in and out. Kind of just... So, it would be nice if I can pair that up with another quicker one. But I'm not sure 100% how I'm going to accomplish that. So let's see, we want this to be about halfway down the leg, just something like maybe not angled. I'm pulling, I didn't cut all the way through, so I'm pulling everything off. So I just need to kind of hold this in here while I pull. Okay, that was better this time than the first time. Alright, get that off. Get this stuff off of here. Ugh. Okay, there we go. And there we have it. We are putting the foot in the, not necessarily the correct hole. It does technically work in both of these holes. There we go. We now have, let's get some of this junk out of the way. Too much stuff, too much stuff, too much stuff. So we've now kind of matched the one side to the other. We got ourselves a little bit further in terms of detailing out. And yeah, no, we're feeling better. We can finally move up. So yeah, next time, see if I can kind of focus on this area, get all that to look good, which is that and you. So yeah, just kind of get the whole waist area. And then from there, we basically have some patterning, kind of finish off the boots, the straps and stuff. I still have the bottom of this one to do, a whole lot of cleaning up and kind of making things look good. And then we're just about ready for the hardening. I'm going to then, once that's done, I can scale back everything up top here. And then we're going to be getting into hardening. And that's going to be good times. Once we are hardened, I'm going to be a very happy person that all this is finally locked in. So that is where we are, and that's where we're going. So yeah, with that, until next time, enjoy.